Greetings, greetings, greetings. It is your girl Tenacity, and welcome to my world. This IG caption is titled Uncovering Helen. Helen was a complex girl. She lived in a world of self-pity, self-doubt. Each day she covered herself in makeup galore, hoping that she could hide some of the imperfections that only she saw in her mirror. Helen was beautiful on the inside, but she just could not get a grip on the way she looked to herself on the outside. She kept praying, God, why did you make me this way? Every day she prayed the same prayer. Why did you make me this way? Her friends, they demeaned her. They discredited her. They dishonored her on every occasion. Helen kind of lived in a bubble, kind of lived isolated and withdrawn. Her heart was big. She gave to those that was in need and those that didn't need and those that just wanted to be there to beg. She gave. She gave from a place that was right on the inside, but in her mirror, it didn't reflect the same on the outside. Helen stayed disgusted and disappointed because of her surroundings. She said, if my friends are not accomplishing that, I guess what right do I have to try and accomplish it? All the misery kind of stayed together in the same vicinity. She didn't quite understand, if I'm so giving and I don't feel like I'm worthy, what's wrong with me? She would ask herself all of these different questions. Day after day, she would cry. She would just keep asking God, why did you make me this way? So one particular day, someone new came into the workplace. And they were not so attractive like Helen. But what Helen saw is herself, but a glimpse of what she should be and could be like. So this lady sat down and she talked to her and she said, girl, I'm going to a conference this weekend. Would you like to go? Helen was shocked because nobody invited Helen to anything. They left Helen out. She was ostracized. They would only go and use Helen. So she said yes, because I don't get invited out much. And the lady told her, after this conference, that's going to change. So she gets to the conference and she starts listening to all of the guest speakers. And one just resonated to her spirit. God sent that word through that one individual. And Helen began to weep. And Helen began to cry and scream. And she began to wipe off her makeup. She began to uncover herself. She began to take off the mask that she had placed on just to greet that audience. And what Helen noticed is she wasn't the only woman there doing that very same thing. So as she sat back down and started talking to the lady that invited her to the event and apologizing for screaming and shouting and crying and wiping her makeup off because they're in public, the lady looked at her and said, "It's okay. God told me to ask you to come because he said you needed to uncover Helen." So as she got back home, she began to wash her face. Her tears began to dry up, and her prayers started to change. And she started thanking God for who she was because of whose she was. She started praying to God, "Thank you for creating me. And now I give you back who you gave me." Uncovered. Greetings. This is your girl, Tenacity. Uncovering Helen. Mind changing. Subscribe.